Konbanwa. Good evening. Gonna be dyeing some shirts today. We've got some old white tees, some secondhand tees. This one's not really obvious, but you can see there's some stains on it. Around here, maybe some coffee. Yeah, you can kind of see there. 1, 2, 3. There's more than that, but anyway. We've got another one here. This one's pretty minimal in stains, but there's a small one there. I think this is a big one with like the location of the stains on this one are pretty great.
I think.
It's a chocolate.
Yeah.
I love that. And then one more, a kind of small tee. This one, it's not too bad. I think maybe just a little bit around the neck, and there's like a little tiny spot there. We can't really see it. But anyway, it's there, and we don't want it there anymore. So we've got some tools. We've got a bucket. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. Got a bucket. Got some gloves. A towel, just in case. I'm wearing my protective gear as well, as you can see, with all the paint on it already. Got some strings for tying the shirts up if we want to. We might not. A metal fork. Dye won't stick to this, so it's quite a good tool for mixing. This is for later. I think this is for cleaning the dye. We're using an eco dye, which we bought here in Japan. What's the name of this stuff again? Tomo? Miyakozome. Miyakozome is the brand. We got it at Yuzawaya, which is a pretty, well, I think it's a common craft fabric store. Maybe it's just in Osaka, I'm not sure. And I've also got this metal bowl just in case. I might not use this, but let's see what happens. How do you want to start this, Tomo? Put the dye in here. Okay. Oh yeah, also got some salt. Cooking salt. This is necessary in my opinion. It helps the dye stick to the fabric better. I'm not going to measure the salt, but I think, what do we normally do? Like a tablespoon of salt? Did I write salt down? No, I've got some handwritten instructions. I think about a tablespoon or 2. Because it's not like a written requirement on the instructions. I just tend to eyeball it. Although I do think maybe there's some advice on the box about adding salt. I don't know why it's like not already included, or maybe there is a reason why some people don't add salt, but I add salt every time. Do you just want to have a quick look at this, or should I follow my own instructions? I don't know. This one's in a white box. Normally we get ones in black boxes. It still says cold dye all. So I think maybe what we usually use is cold dye hot. What does that mean? Cold dye hot. Very professional over here as usual, I guess. So we're doing some experimenting, but one of these shirts is actually for someone. So I am dedicating these 2 colors to that. This kind of, it's called sky blue, and this one's called emerald green. So we're gonna use these 2, at least for one of them, or maybe all, but we might add some more fun colors to the last few to make it a little bit more crazy. Okay, so I'll just start with the light blue, since that's I would say the less dominant color. I want to do that first. And we're gonna add What do you think, Tomo? Half of this or less?
How many do you do with that color? 2?
Maybe 2?
Okay.
Half?
So
Less than half?
half is okay.
Half is okay. Alright, this is to about here. It's not actually full, so we'll do about half of that. Not too much. Let's try and measure it with my hand a bit. Not yet. A little bit more. I think that would be good. And now we're gonna add some boiling water. I put our kettle away, so I'm just gonna use sink water because it gets really hot. That's okay, it's no problem. And what it says 9.5 liters. I don't think I've ever. Oh, this is gonna be noisy. I don't think I've ever done the full 9.5 liters. I just kind of eyeball this part as well.
2 t-shirts, 250 grams. You have to use a 20 gram. 20 is only a whole.
A whole?
Yeah.
But look at it, it's really rich. What do you think?
This is a whole.
A whole one. You want to do it?
Mm-hmm.
You want to go for it? Can you dump the glue in? Please? I want to show it inside here. It looks so pretty.
Is this one?
Chop, sky blue. Oh, it's hot. I guess since we're using all of the blue, should we do the 9.5 liters? I'm at about 5 right now. What do you think? Mm-hmm. 6.
That's enough.
I think it's enough too. I think it's 6. I don't know. I kind of counted it.
About 500 milliliters.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
I'm gonna stir it. What's a fork now? Oh, look, some glue's already dropped on that. It's so cute. Do you want to dunk these totally or just like partially, kind of tie-dye?
As you wish.
Okay, we'll experiment with this one first, maybe. What do you think? Or yours is okay?
Yeah.
First, I'm gonna experiment with yours or another one first before we do our customers one. I want to make sure hers is correct. There's some dye that's like splattered on the sides, so I'm just trying to catch that now. Don't want it to be too strong, if that makes sense. If it catches the splattered parts, it might be more pigmented, if that makes sense. Cooking up some potions here. I think that's probably good. I desu ka? Yoroshii desu ka? No.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's see. Should I do long sleeve first? This one? I'll just do a little dunk and see. I'll grab it a bit and then just dunk that first. Did I just do emerald green for those t-shirts? Now I'm wondering. This is pretty blue. Maybe it's just a mixture of green and blue.
Yeah.
Okay, so I I held it like that, and so now you can see it has this like tie-dye look just from doing that. What do you think? More of that?
Some pot.
I'm gonna grab there's this big stain here. I'm gonna grab that, but make sure the stain's out so we get some color on the stain. I'm gonna leave this in a little bit longer. Dyes tend to say like leave it in for 30 minutes. I do leave them like this without washing them for at least 30 minutes, but when you're doing tie-dye like this, you don't really need to let it soak. What you see is what you get to pretty much. It is a little bit darker because it's wet, but that's it. Leaving it in there longer won't make it more pigmented, really. So just a little pro tip there. I'm gonna grab this stain here too. Also, I don't know if I mentioned or if you noticed, but all of the t-shirts are already wet. This is just a preference for tie-dyeing in particular. I think it spreads a little bit nicer. It flows. But if you look at like, I don't know, a normal tie-dye, like rainbow tie-dye hippie t-shirt, those are usually done dry, and it's a little bit more, there's more contrast between where the dye is and where the dye is not. I prefer this kind of thing. So what do you think? A little bit more?
It's okay.
Yeah? Okay. We're pretty happy with that. Our style tends to be this kind of like random way, which I like. Okay, so now I'm going to do hers, Tom. But that is not hers. This is hers. Okay. I'm going to do the same kind of thing. This one is the one that doesn't have too many stains, so I'm just going to kind of grab random places and, oh, there's a stain there. Yep. It has stains. Found it. Do a little armpit one here. It's interesting to see, like these are all white t-shirts, but I guess because some of them are worn more than others, or they are like different companies, they are slightly different whites. So it's interesting to see how the blue takes to them slightly differently. Let's do another one here, I think. Oof, I just got dye in my face. That's cool, right? I think that one's good. I don't want to go overboard with blue on that one. Should we do them all? No? So what should we do with this dye? This one too?
Yeah.
Okay, let's find some stains here on this one. Right here. There's some stains here too. I'm gonna twist this one a little bit too. Grab and twist. Very good, I think too. Okay, Tom, shall we make the next color?
Another color. Okay.
What are you gonna do with that?
Dump it.
Dump it? So then, Tom, can we tie the towel? Oh, that really bugs me. I always try to make the dye as much as we need, not overmake it. But didn't measure that well. It sucks. I don't like that. Anyway, I usually try my best not to do that, so I have to forgive myself for the times when we can't make it work perfectly. It's eco dye, so at least there is that. Take these off for now. And I think next we'll do green. Great. I'm gonna do way less this time now. Okay, this one is a little bit more full actually than the last one. I think I'll do that much. Okay, I think that's good. Can you add the salt, please? Thank you. Okay, we've got one. Two. Three?
Four.
Four. Okay, one more. Okay, get those gloves back on. I don't want to dry my hands, but also the water is hot. Got to have gloves. And I'm gonna stir it. Potions! Potions. Like, this is so easy and quick, like how we just did those two, right? Like, oh, sorry. Like, really fast way to solve the stain problem, you know? That I think a lot of us have. Okay, we're gonna start with this first one again, just to refresh your memory. Now, for this one, I'm gonna grab the white parts where there's not dye yet and just see how it's looking. I bought this color today, so I'm not totally sure if it's right. It looks cool. I'm not sure if it's what I expected, but come on.
Yes.
It looks cool. But yeah, not totally 100% like what we did before. That's okay. Then I'm gonna grab some white parts here, and pull them up and dunk. So I think this would be a little bit more green. It's quite blue. It's fine, there's still like a difference, you know, between the the blues. Oh, I'm getting this on my trousers a little bit. Oops. Isn't emerald green like really bright but rich? Oh well. What's the name anyway? Looking cool. I'm gonna kind of cover all this white though, really. I wanted to have that tie-dye look, but without any white to it. As much as possible. Now, sometimes, I don't know if you can see, there's some spots. Yeah, you can kind of see here, there's a dark blue spot there. I notice that happens sometimes. I guess it's because the powder dye hasn't totally been mixed properly, or I'm not sure if it's like a salt thing. It doesn't happen every time, so I can't really be sure what exactly is happening. Otherwise, I guess I would try to prevent it, but at the same time, I kind of like it. It's a kind of unexpected little part of the process. And sometimes, depending on the color, it has a kind of rainbow effect. Like it'll be like orange, purple, and pink or something. Like it's quite cute, like all different color spots. But you can't really control it, so I don't know. If anyone knows about that, let me know. Maybe I'm just being a bit silly. I don't know everything. Surprise. Okay, let's get this sleeve over here. Just flicked a bunch of water at Toma's way. Oops. For those watching from outside of Japan, it is 9:30 p.m. After dinner, after a little break, we're doing this. This is what we normally do after work. What do you think? That good? It's fun. It'll lighten up a bit. It's wet, so it's a little bit dark right now. Okay, now we're gonna move on to this one. I'm curious to see what it'll look like, because this one, white, is a bit brighter. Okay, let's grab these white spots here, like so. Oh yeah, this is nice. That good again. I'm gonna give it a little extra stir too. Okay, cool. Let's get to the bottom a little bit. And that white spot there. Okay, still a little bit of white. Pinch it like that. Pinch and squeeze. If you like pinching and squeezing, this is for you. We did some, like, lots of squats and stuff yesterday, so my muscles are aching already. And now I'm doing this. Not good planning, but I'm okay. I'm not suffering too bad. Okay, let's do a big pinch here at the top. There's quite a lot of white there. Pinch, squeeze, and dunking. Okay, still a little bit too much white, I think. Let's fix that. see. How are we looking here? Okay, tie out just a little bit more. It's really tiny there. Okay, let's just do some spots, I think. It's like the opposite of spot cleaning. This is perfect for people who have, like, I don't know if messy lifestyles is the way to say it. Like, you know, if you're working outdoors a lot, or even like working with paint, like me, I've got paint all over the city. Or like children, or just older clothes that have got stains on them, or yeah, like I said, kids tend to get lots of stuff on their clothes, so this is a really good, easy option that you could do with your kids as well. I remember when I was in elementary school, we, like in the final year, we were making tie-dye t-shirts. We all bring our own t-shirt and tie-dyed them all together, and then once they came back to us after being washed, we were all gonna like sign and draw on our t-shirts or something. And I remember being so devastated because our brand new teacher, it was like her first year teaching that year, she was a bit of a dummy. Like, I was 12 and I remember thinking like, she's kind of silly. She somehow managed to, like, after we tie-dyed them and they looked great, she managed to wash them in a way that made them all turn like one universal kind of purple color. And I, with all my dyeing experience now as an adult, I don't know how she managed to do that. I really don't know what kind of magic she did, or if she like didn't use tie-dye or something. Like, I really don't know what went wrong, but I was so gutted. I couldn't believe it. It was such a travesty to me that we just had like purple t-shirts because she was so silly. And like, I don't know, like, I just thought like she couldn't have asked the other teachers, like everyone else's class was good. Tom, what do you think?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool.
Amazing.
Okay, one more. Phew. Talk to me, Tomo. My partner in crime finally joins me and he's sitting in the corner on his phone. If anyone is curious, by the way, Tomo is my husband. He and I do actually work together on this stuff. It isn't all me. It sometimes is all me, but not all the time. Tom helps me pick items, like he helps me find dead stock stuff. He helps me pick out colors or materials, and he's the one who found this eco dye. And you know, we talk a lot of designs through together. Sometimes he'll request things like the hoodie he is wearing right now. I'll describe to you. It's a cat with a hoodie. It's a photograph of my older cat, and I just drew a hoodie on her because he just asked me that for that one day, and I was like, all right. Cats can wear costumes and hoodies too, so I just drew it, and it's been a pretty popular hoodie. Nice, popular design. So yeah, it's not all me. We work together. It's a collaboration. And that's also why, for those who are curious, I'm not sure that many are, I used to really just go by my name in terms of branding. When I worked in London, everything was under my real full name. And then I just quit doing that when I moved here to Japan. And then when I started it back up again, working with Tomo, we decided to call it a different name instead of keeping with my name. It's, well, I also, another reason I didn't want to use my name anymore, apart from that it wasn't just me, it's because we were doing new projects too, like the YouTube stuff like we're doing now, and a couple of other new projects that I just kind of felt like it's just different, so it should be a different name. But also, when I was an English teacher, I'm not anymore, but when I was, I really didn't want kids to Google me and find out like what I was doing outside of teaching, which sounds kind of a shame, but what I mean is, I didn't want them to find me on Instagram because, you know, I post my own personal stuff, like they don't need to know about that. And also, I've got tattoos and I show that off on social media. I don't hide it, but in my schools, I had to hide it, so I just basically didn't want them to see my tattoos. So although the kids know my name is Brandy Sensei, they don't know that I work on design stuff under the name Re-Ceremony. They've never heard of it, they still don't know, and I don't really care about keeping that way or not. If they happen to find me, which I don't think they would, I don't think they really think about me anymore, that would be okay. I'm not a teacher anymore, so they can go crazy. Let's do a little bit more here. Oh yeah, this one's a long sleeve, so I'm gonna dunk these sleeves in here a bit as well. Are you guys with me? Oops. A little bit more, still a bit white there. On the sleeve. I'll leave it a little bit longer. I think it's cooling down. Yeah, I think it's cooling down quite a bit. Hold on. Oh no, that's okay. Sometimes I notice like the first few dunks are stronger. I should be doing this a little bit quicker, but I'm trying to get these white spots, so I'm being a little bit careful than I might normally. Sometimes instead of this dunking method, I pour it, I lay the t-shirt out and maybe tie some bits or pinch with my hands, and then I just pour it where I want it. Both are fine. This is kind of fun, but it takes a little bit longer. It's just easier to do it this way. It's a bit more clean. We've spilt dye on the floor and it's gotten on the walls here in this apartment. Really hope our landlord never watches this. Tomato.
Amazing.
Amazing? Amazing! Kansei desu. これは? 後で。終わる?
終わりです。
終わりです。終わりでございます. We are finished. So that was just so, well, I want to say quick, but we've been here for about over 30 minutes now. But just some live dyeing to show you how easy it is to cover up some stains. I do recommend, I'll just give you a little last look. I'll show the final result at some point. I do just want to show you on this most buggered up one, which had those chocolate stains on the neck. Like, you can still see that stain if you look closely. I don't know if you can see it with this video. It's right here. So the great thing about tie-dyeing is that it makes it a little bit less invisible because you're focusing on, oh, look at this dark spot here, and like, whereas if you just like dumped the whole thing as one color, you still see that banging chocolate stain here. So I really recommend this kind of tie-dye thing, and you can, you know, dip half like that. There's so many patterns you can do, but I've gone for a random one here to make sure I've covered all the stains and disguised them. They're not gone, they're still there, but they're disguised. So I hope you enjoy it. If you have any questions, please leave a comment, I always respond. 日本語も OK。ごめんね、もう一回英語ばかりでした。失礼しました。じゃあね、バイバイ。